Hello guys, so today I'm going to teach you how to work with resin and the little techniques I know from working with resin, so let's get started. First thing you need, of course, is resin. I use this Pour On High Gloss Finish resin, Envirotex Light, and this one I got at Michael's, and this is a 32 ounce. I usually get the 32 ounce with the 50% off coupon, so just throwing that out there. Also, you need plastic cups, something to stir with. I use wooden sticks. You need straws to blow out your air bubbles in your resin. This is a mold. These molds I bought from Jenkinson. These are resin molds, and usually for these you use no stickers. You usually use either you color your resin or you use glitter. Also, you could use, this is a brownie Wilton silicone mold. These are silicone, so just keep in mind that these are not shiny in the inside, so they will not come out shiny when you crack them out, because these are shiny inside, so these at least come out shiny in some sort. Also, you things you could put inside resin, you could put inside pictures, stickers. Usually people use stickers. These are paper stickers, and these will bleed when you pour them in resin. Bleeding is this. You see the little clear dots inside of this? That's another example I have is this one. Do this one because it's better. So you see all those little dots? It looks like spotted. That's bleeding. That's what we call bleeding. So your resin bleeds through the sticker. So that's why you want to Mod Podge your pieces. Also, you could use any type of glitter. You could use fine glitter. This is by Recollection. Chunky glitter. And there's another fine glitter. Most of the most popular ones are usually these Recollection and Martha Stewart glitters. Also, you could use these envelope ones and just these little flakes. Also, you could use party flakes, which are found usually at party stores. These are little dollar signs. These usually float in the background of your sticker or photo. Also, to color your resin, you could basically use pigment powders, acrylic paints, and pastels. Also, for glazing, you could use triple thick or resin itself. When you use resin itself, it looks like this. To start with, you're first going to grab your resin, but since my room is not room temperature, my resin, it's really thick and it's really hard to work with, and it's really hard to get rid of the air bubbles. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a bucket of water with warm water, and stick my resin in there for 10 to 15 minutes. After that, your resin should look like this, more flowy, and it's better to work with. If you don't do this process, your pieces will end up looking like this. I tried to blow out the air bubbles and I thought they were going to clear out, but they never did. So that's a little tip right there. To measure, I usually just use my bottle caps out of my resin, but I usually do 3 caps and 3 caps of resin and then the hardener. Or sometimes you could do up to 4 or 5, but I usually like to work with smaller amounts of resin because it's easier to work with and you don't need that much for each layer. Here I will be pouring 3 caps of each. So when you finish pouring, your resin should look like this. It's 2 layers. The hardener usually floats on the top. So you just want to mix for 2 minutes consecutive. So after you're finished stirring your resin, you want to let it sit for 5 minutes. And you'll see that after 5 minutes, all your air bubbles are going to rise up and pop. So after 5 minutes, what you want to do is just stir this again. Just make sure you scrape the edges because hardener does get on it, and you just want to make sure it's all mixed. So you just want to mix it one last time. And then it's kind of warm already. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab our molds. Today I'm going to be using this new mold I have. It's called, it has a chill pill on it. And then this one, I'm gonna start with my chill pill mold to start the tutorial. And for this one, I'm gonna be using two colors. So I'm gonna have to mix a blue color and a red color with either acrylic paints, pastels, or any type of pigments you have around. For the blue, I'll be using acrylic paints, which are by Liquitex. These are really, they're the basic kind, so they're really thick compared to regular acrylic paint with the small bottles. And I really like these because of their consistency, and they really help make the colored resin really easy and fast. And for red, I don't have red paint, so I'm using pastel colors for this. I'll be using two types of pastel colors to get a really hot red that I want for these. Resin to get rid of all these air bubbles. It's like that, and then these have one layer already, so I'm gonna do the last layer. On these I'm gonna do white, so I'm gonna add white to my resin. Glitter. So now before you add anything to it, you actually want to push it down. See, this one is like really tacky here. You hear that tickling sound? Means that there's some air bubbles being popped. You're going to press down really good. Add these on here. Of course, you don't need that many. And then make them float. Okay, now we're gonna add the glitter. This time I'm gonna do a rainbow. So I'm gonna do it on this one. So I'm gonna start from the top to bottom. So this has been curing for the past 24 hours, so it's really hard. I could actually pop these out, but if I lift them up, when I put the second layer, the resin will go through and it will kind of ruin your piece in a way. But some people like it like that, but I just prefer not to, so you don't want to mess with it. So now I already have my other batch of resin ready. This one came out a little bit clearer without air bubbles because I mixed actually really slow. And I'm just gonna make the top coat. The second coat will be white. So I'll make. This is another paint I have. It's Artist Loft. It's acrylic paint, and I actually like this thick one kind, because the liquid ones, those really are really runny, and it's really hard to paint your resin with that. So basically you use more than you need to. And pour that in. I rather have some of it left over than not having enough, so. Hello guys, so now my resin piece is finished. It's up to you if you want to glaze it. I will be sanding mine down to get rid of those air bubbles, and then sand this down. I already added my eye pin. If you want to know how to add eye pins to resin pieces, I will add a video here on screen, and that's basically how to make a resin piece. Now you're going to let the back cure for another 12 hours, and your resin piece is ready. You want to wait for like the 12 hours so this doesn't become really flabby and it's become more difficult to sand down. So you're going to wait 12 hours after you added your eye pin, and then you're going to sand this down, and then either you can glaze it or not. So that's basically it. If you want to see the rest of my pieces, the chill pill piece, and then my other resin pieces, continue watching. So you continue watching. So here are my resin pieces. This is a little bee one. This is a little bird one. I should have put another. I should have just left it blank and let the white background so it could have stand out a little bit more. And these are the chill pills. These came out pretty cool. I love these. I'm just gonna be painting inside of them so you can see the stuff inside. And then this one is a 3D one. So it looks really cool. And I'm gonna add my eye pins on these. And yeah, that's basically it. And just sand the rim around to get rid of that stuff. This one came out pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sand these down. So that's basically it. That's how you make the resin pieces.